Atlanta's Mayor Shirley Franklin.
Dear John, you have been abusing our kids, prostituting them, and throwing them onto the street. As mayor of Atlanta, I have promised to listen to people. Kids are no exception. When you buy sex from our kids, you hurt them, you hurt our families, and you hurt our city. No more, not in my city. Sincerely, Shirley Franklin.
2 real-life stories. Chris Wade, Independence, Missouri.
And they were basically out in public. I understand they'd been to a movie, and they were approached by this guy who was in his 20s and had a nice SUV and, you know, all of this, and approached them initially about selling beauty products. And that's how he lured them in with, oh, I'll give you guys a job, you can sell beauty products. Well, eventually, you know, it turned into, and you can live with me. And so they started grooming them for prostitution. And of course, being very young, very inexperienced, they did not realize at all what was happening.
Christy Childs, founder of Veronica's Voice.
Age of 12 until I turned 18, I was in different cities, different small towns where I was prostituted out of around the United States. What was significant was the truck stop experience for me, because no matter where we would pull in at different truck stops, there were always other truckers, and they would talk on those CBs to let other truckers know that I was available. And so I was kind of just being prostituted by the truckers as well. And by me being so young, I was taken advantage of a lot.
Standing here, there could be a girl in one of these trucks that is being trafficked from some other place, and to know that really, you know, it makes me feel uncomfortable, because at any point in time, it could have been me or it could have been another girl that I know.
Cynthia Cords, U.S. Attorney's Office, Kansas City, Missouri.
At least in the Kansas City area, is some type of facility where our victims, especially minor victims, can go to, where they're protected, where it's safe, where it's secure, and they're not treated like...
Meet Candace and listen to her story.
My mom, after the first time she beat me, and the second, every chance I got, but I'd always end up coming back. And then one night, that horrible man she was with forced himself on me. Was because my mom didn't know how to control me anymore. This time for good. I think I was 12. I was hanging out at a store in Atlanta when I met the most beautiful guy I had ever seen, and he said I was beautiful too. The princess. He took care of me. He said he loved me, and he said it didn't. Everything changed. But suddenly one day he just hated me. He beat me up with a broomstick. He cuffed me to the bed, and he told me I had to start having sex with strangers to repay my debt. My name's Candace. I think it's Candace.
This sad story happens every day on the streets of Atlanta, Dallas, Kansas City, and all over the United States. This is what it looks like in our own backyard. It's called domestic trafficking. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, passed in 1865 at the conclusion of the Civil War, said this: "Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the U.S. or any place subject to their jurisdiction." Over 300 girls are trafficked each month on the streets of Atlanta. Each year, 800,000 to 900,000 human beings are bought, sold, or forced across the world's borders. Join me and our former president by standing up and saying, the trade in human beings for any purpose must not be allowed to thrive in our lifetime. There are people actively fighting for the freedom and wholeness of those currently enslaved. Not for Sale is a campaign that is doing just that. The cases on this video can be found on slaverymap.org. See how many are in your backyard and plug in to take a stand with us.